Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel again. So let's get started with this shoulder part tutorial. Okay, so this is my foam that I'm going to be using. So I got each for 100 naira. Okay, so both is 200 naira. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to fold it into two like so. Okay, and then right after that I'm going to measure 4 inches on the length side and also on the breadth side. I'm just going to make it 4 inches. So now this totally depends on you. Okay, if the 4 inches is okay, you can go right side with it, or if you want to reduce it to about 3.5. okay, so I'm cutting it right out now. So I used 4x4. okay, and then I later realized that it was too large for me, so I decided to trim 0.5 off out of it. Okay, so at the end of the day I ended up using 3.5 inches. Okay, so this depends on you. Okay, but the maximum that you can use should be about 4 inches. Okay, or if you want it if you want your shoulder pad way broader, you can also extend it. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the second one just as we did with the first one. I'll go right ahead to cut the second one now. Guys, please do not forget to give my video a thumbs up, kindly subscribe to my channel, okay, and please share the video so that others can get to see it. Thank you so much. So cutting out the second one now, and now I have my 2 shoulder pads. We'll be working with a pair. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to trim off the edge. Okay, I want it to lay flat because I don't want it to be too bulgy at the shoulder, so I'll just trim it off a little bit just to make it a little bit flatter at that edge. Okay, so go right ahead and do the same thing if you want to achieve a little bit flatter edge around your shoulder. So you have to be really careful and patient when doing this, because if you cut in too deep, then you can actually cut your shoulder pad. Okay, so just go right ahead and make that place a little bit flat. So I think that's fine. I'll go right ahead and do the same thing to the second one. All right, so now that is done, the next thing I'm going to do now is to wrap my shoulder pad around with the interfacing. You can see that this is a very soft one. Okay, just wrap your foam around with it. Okay, and then you secure it with your iron. All right, so just cut out the shape of the shoulder pad for both, and then you secure it with your iron. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, guys, and please give this video a thumbs up, share it so that others can get to see it as well. Thank you so much. All right, this is all done. You can see how beautiful it looks. Okay, so I'll go right ahead and trim out the excess that I have on the side. Okay, so I'll just trim that out and then we'll proceed with the tutorial. All right, I'm done with that now. So the next thing to do is to cut out the fabric that we want to use for our shoulder pad. Okay, the fabric that we'll be using to wrap your shoulder pad around. So you are going to place your shoulder pad on it and then you will cut it out. Okay, so notice the fact that I added 0.5 all around. Okay, and this is what I have. After cutting out the first one, I'll proceed to cut out the second one as well. All right, so go right ahead and do the same thing to the second one, and then right after that we are going to be securing the shoulder pad. Okay, now this is what I have. You can see what that looks like. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to run a stitch all around. Okay, and then while I'm running the stitch, I'm going to also pick the shoulder pad. Okay, so that it can be firm, it can be secured, okay, with the fabric. So I'm going to sew a little bit of that. Now this is what I'm talking about. You can see what it looks like. Okay, so I will go right ahead to trim out the excess. Now the shoulder pad is firmly secured along with the fabric. Okay, I hope you do get what I'm saying. So I'll go right ahead to trim off the excess of both pads now. So now all that is done, I will go right ahead to weave out the edge to make it neat. I hope you can see what I have now, very neat and beautiful. So if you want your shoulder part to be flatter, then you are going to iron it out with hot iron. Okay, you are going to give it a press so it can reduce the size, and then we'll proceed now to fix it on our shoulder. You can actually fix it without the mannequin, okay, but this will just make you see the placement. Okay, so what we are going to do is to fold it into two to get the midpoint, and then we are going to place that midpoint, make sure it is on the joining. Okay, so go right ahead and adjust it to whatever side you want it to be. If you want a broader shoulder, then you make sure that the shoulder pad goes across the joining of the shoulder and the sleeve. Okay, you make sure you push it into the joining. All right, so that means that you are going to sew your shoulder to your sleeve before you add the shoulder pad. But if you want a smaller shoulder, then you sew the shoulder part to the shoulder first before you sew the sleeve, so that way the joining passes onto the shoulder pad. Okay, and then you go right ahead to place your applique on it. Whatever applique you want to use, you go right ahead to place it on it, or if you want to bead it, is fine. Okay, thank you so much for sticking with me with this tutorial. I really do hope that you got value. Okay, and if you are interested in more tutorials, then kindly give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, guys.